Thought you knew all there was to know about Avengers Endgame? Think again. A few eagle-eyed Marvel aficionados have spotted an intriguing Easter egg tucked in a supersized superhero film. Taking to the site Our Movie Details forum, one Reddit user uploaded a screenshot of an Avengers Endgame scene that shows what seems to be a travel log of all the time periods the Avengers jumped into in the film. The log appears when the 2014 version of Nebula is executing a plan to activate the time travel machine at Avengers HQ to bring Thanos to the present day in 2023. In the top right section of the screen, one can spot the supposed user history, which details in part that Earth's mightiest heroes first traveled to May 2012, aka the setting of the first Avengers movie. Viewers saw this play out during the time heist mission in Avengers Endgame, but what they didn't see is some of the heroes actually traveling to January 2988, a date which is mysteriously included as a next entry in the time travel log. Even weirder, it looks like the date specifically says 2988 BC. But that's not all. A mention of the year 2988 can also be seen in a different sequence in Avengers Endgame. When Chris Hemsworth's Thor is recapping the events of Thor: The Dark World and describing the nature of the Ether, aka the Reality Stone, he shares a story about his grandfather, King Bor, an Asgardian who sees the Ether from the Dark Elves thousands of years ago.
My grandfather, many years ago, had to hide the stone from the Dark Elves. Ooh. Scary beings.
Behind Thor, one of the screens reads 2988 BC, which may well be the same year that Bor battled against the Dark Elf forces and Malekith the Accursed to obtain the Ether.
Millennia ago, the most ruthless of their kind, Malekith, sought to transform our universe back into one of eternal night.
In the version of Avengers Endgame we saw, Thor and Rocket travel to Asgard in 2013, intersecting with the events of Thor: The Dark World. Then they proceed to obtain the Ether by extracting it from Jane Foster. However, the screen displaying the year 2988 BC hints that Thor and Rocket may have at least discussed traveling back to the first battle of Svartalfheim instead, snatching up the Ether way back in the past instead of just 2013. There are some reasons why this might have been an option for the team. Thor clearly had mixed feelings about returning to Asgard in the state we see him in Endgame. Depressed, anxious, overweight, and beating himself up over his perceived mistake he made during the battle with Thanos. Plus, he knew it would be painful to see his homeland in the moments before thousands of people were killed. Not that jumping back to the bloody first battle of Svartalfheim would be any less intense for Thor, but there would be at least a little bit of emotional distance given how long ago the battle took place. It seems pretty plausible that some potential cut or draft of Avengers Endgame saw the heroes leaping back to the year 2988 BC, before it was decided to loop in the more modern-day events of Thor: The Dark World instead. As far as we can tell, the filmmakers haven't talked about this.
I have no idea, man. We're talking about time travel here.
Some people think that out-of-place state has nothing to do with the plot of the movie, and is instead a reference to an alternate Earth from Marvel's What If comics, Earth 2988. In that reality, Wolverine became a horseman of the powerful villain Apocalypse. Some see the number as possibly being a clue for how the X-Men would join the MCU, but that seems like a stretch. But it's just as likely that some version of the movie saw Thor and Rocket taking an alternate route to get to the Ether, and not all the computer graphics in the final movie got the message. But that's just speculation. We may never unravel the full mystery of this strange time travel detail. Either way, it goes to show that there's a lot more going on in this 3-hour movie than anyone first realized. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.